When you first open Sketchup, you'll be greeted with this welcome screen. From here, we need to make sure we're using the right template, so we're going to click on the Choose Template button. Right down at the bottom of the list is a 3D printing millimeters. This is the template we want, so click on that template and click Start using Sketchup. Now, it quite often takes a few seconds to load. Once it does, you'll be greeted with a screen that's got this MakerBot replicator. That's one type of 3D printer that we don't have, so that box is no good to us. We're simply going to click on it and click the delete button to get rid of it. You'll see across the top here there's a variety of tools. I'm not going to go through all of these, but I'll go through the most important ones. The first one that's going to be useful is the line drawing tool. If I click on this, it allows me to draw straight lines anywhere on the screen. You can see the distance of the line that you're drawing down in the bottom right corner here. It can be quite hard to drag a line to exactly the right length that you want. So instead of doing that, you can simply type in the number. As you can see down the bottom there, I've typed in 65. If I press enter, it will make the line 65 millimeters long. Next to the line drawing button, you have the erase button. That's for when you want to get rid of anything. The line also has a drop down that allows you to draw freehand. This will draw wherever you hold down the left mouse button, and you can be a lot more creative with this sort of design. Next to that, I have arcs, some basic shapes like circles and rectangles, and a really important tool which is the push-pull tool. This will allow me to resize my shapes and turn them from 2D into 3D. So for example, with my circle here, I can drag it up to make it a lot taller. Same with my rectangle. This works both up and down and side to side. If I click one of the side walls, I can drag out my rectangle. Another important tool at the top here is the tape measure. If I know that I want to start my next line 10 millimeters into this shape, I can click in the corner here and start dragging across. As you can see down the bottom right here, it tells me how far I'm going, but again, I can simply type in the number and press enter, and it gives me a little drop point 10 mils across. Other important tools are the orbit tool. This allows me to move around my object to look at different parts. If I find that it's not quite in the screen where I want it to be, I can use the hand tool to drag the screen around. I've also got the magnifying glass, which will allow me to zoom in and zoom out, which can also be done with the mouse wheel. Those are the most important tools for SketchUp. There are a variety of others, but there's lots of good tutorials on YouTube, which I'll leave a link to so you can find those. One important thing to keep in mind is that SketchUp doesn't automatically save like Tinkercad does, so you do need to go File and Save, and I advise doing this fairly regularly in case the program crashes. Another thing you need to keep in mind is when you're finished with your design, you need to export it as an STL file. This is the type of file that our printers recognise. To do that, click on File and Export STL. Once you've done that, you get this little pop-up box. Simply click Export and it'll ask you where you want to save it. Once you've done that, that's the file that you can upload to have your object printed. So make sure that you're using an STL file and not any other type of object. Happy designing!